Remember our rule of thumb. The more scared we are of a work or calling, the more sure we can be that we have to do it.
You don't want a life with no stress, with no anxiety, with no fear. That means you're repeating the same day over and over again. You would hate that life.
I would like people to, when you have time, to make a list of your fears. Make a list of your fears, and then give yourself the opportunity to turn each fear into a positive affirmation.
Rise and shine!
It's Entspresso time!
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I am not a morning person, but when you start your day with an inspiring morning routine that gets you going, like maybe watch one of these videos, it will change your life. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee, know that I believe in you, and get ready for a shot of Entspresso from Marie Forleo.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
You know, it seems like you can't open a book or read a blog post these days without hearing somebody tell you to follow your passion or follow your bliss or follow your heart. And yes, I have said those things too. But today I want to talk about the power of going in what can often feel like the opposite direction. I want to talk about the power of following your fear. I'm not talking about following your very useful fear of big moving vehicles and walking in front of a bus, nor am I talking about doing anything stupid or irresponsible that could ruin you financially. What I am talking about, though, is the power of following good fear, directive fear, the kind of fear that you feel when you have an idea that just won't leave you alone, an idea about doing something that you've always wanted to do, something that's different and bold and kind of risky, where part of you is saying, oh no, I actually couldn't do that. But the deeper, wiser part of you wants this thing so damn bad. And the moment you imagine yourself going for it, you have worries like, will people laugh at me? Will they ignore me? Maybe this isn't even really an idea. What if I do it and it sucks? Am I going to destroy my reputation? Am I going to lose my marriage and my family and wind up living on the streets? My friend Steven Pressfield talks about this kind of fear in The War of Art, and he says, remember our rule of thumb. The more scared we are of a work or calling, the more sure we can be that we have to do it. And he continues, the more fear we feel about a specific enterprise, the more certain we can be that that enterprise is important to us and the growth of our soul.
Everything that you want out of life is on the other side of your fears. Every great thing that you want out of your life, the life you want to create for yourself, for your family, for the community, for the world, the life that your family and you deserve is on the other side of the things that you are afraid to do. And if you never jump into it, if you never address them, if you never do those things, those great ideas that you got inside your head that could change the world, if you never take them on, you'll live your entire life knowing that you were capable of more and that you played small. You might have convinced yourself of all the reasons why you can't do it, but really deep down, it's just fear and you played small. And we need to change that in this video. I just came back from doing an event this weekend. It was virtually, where I spoke in front of a couple thousand people. And just before going to speak, my niece was in the other room and she asked me, hey, are you nervous? Are you nervous about this speech you're about to give? I didn't have any slides. I was set to speak for almost an hour. And I had one or two thoughts that I wanted to make sure I got out. And I just wanted to jam with the audience. My favorite thing to do wasn't just to give a prepared speech, but to try to bring as much value based off of the people in the room and get their questions and answer them. And so she said, aren't you nervous doing that live with no slides? Like, are you nervous? Like, yeah, I'm nervous. And I do scary things. If you look at your calendar for the next month, look at it. Look at what you've got booked in your next calendar. If there's nothing in there that scares you, I believe that you hate your life. That just means that you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? You're photocopying your life over and over and over and over and over and over. Every day is the same. If there's nothing in your calendar that scares you, everything is the same. People ask me all the time, they message me and say, how do I remove the fear? How do I get rid of all the anxieties? Like, well, you don't all the way. Having too much anxiety, sure, but you don't want a life with no stress, with no anxiety, with no fear. That means you're repeating the same day over and over again. You would hate that life. You'd be bored out of your mind. You'd be bored out of your mind. So you don't want that life. The key is we're not attacking it. We're not addressing it. You're not doing enough to jump into the thing. And so you're just reliving the same fear in your head of what could happen over and over and over and over and over again. The path through fear is through. It's not to play small. Every time you get scared of something and you don't do it, you're teaching yourself to have less self-confidence. If a great idea comes to you, maybe you get a great idea from this video or another video or a book or a friend, you get inspired, a great idea comes to you, and it's a big idea and it's going to require you to grow and be a better version of you, right? And then you don't do it. You play small. You find some excuse, some reason why you can't do it. What you're doing every time that happens, what you're doing is you're teaching yourself that you play small. You're teaching yourself to have less confidence in yourself, less belief in yourself, that you're not capable. You're teaching yourself in these moments every time that you're not capable of doing these things. I'm somebody who can't do this. That's even if you don't say it out loud, that's what you're teaching yourself every time that you play small and you don't do the thing. You need to start to flip it. You need to start to show yourself that you do difficult things, that you take on challenges, that you jump into the fear. Whether it works out or not is not the issue. Whether you get the result or not is not the problem. It's, did you try? Did you put your best effort in? Over the past couple of weeks, I've interviewed Marie Forleo on the channel. We've interviewed Matthew McConaughey on the channel. I've done that big event for a couple thousand people in South Africa. We had Tony Robbins on the channel. And every time leading up to it, I'm scared. Having Marie on, I was scared. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Marie's great. She's a fantastic interview. You don't even have to ask a question and she'll have amazing stories to tell you. She's personable. She's loving. She's kind. She, what's the worst thing that's going to happen on the interview? But logic is not the problem. The problem is the fear, the emotion. I'm worried that she's not going to have fun in the interview. I'm worried that you guys won't like the interview. I'm worried that I won't ask the right questions. I'm worried that I'm going to squander my opportunity. I'm worried that I'm going to kick myself afterwards to say, man, I wish I asked her this question. All of these fears start coming through my mind. When I look on the calendar, right? Look at your calendar a week ahead and see what's on there. I looked at that and like, ooh, okay, Marie's coming up. I got to make sure that I do a good job. But I don't let the fear stop me. The path through is through. You have to show up. Because what happens is if you don't show up, again, you teach yourself that you suck. On the Matthew one, I had Matthew McConaughey on the channel, and I was super scared for that one because I don't know that much about him. I don't know that much about Matthew. I know more the entrepreneur world, and I don't know, beyond the acting world too much of what he's done. So I was more scared than usual even for that one. And I'm preparing and I'm researching and I'm watching his other interviews and I'm trying to find my angle and I'm trying to think about what to do. And again, the usual fears of, I hope his internet is good, because on one interview his internet wasn't very good. I hope I ask good questions. I hope he likes what I'm saying. I hope you guys watch and enjoy all the usual thoughts. And then he ended up being 5 minutes late. He was 5 minutes late for the interview, and we were on a timeline for it too. And I thought maybe we had a miscommunication. So, the countdown's coming, right? All day I'm nervous. And then whatever time it was, say it was 11 o'clock. I think it was 11 o'clock his time, so 2 o'clock my time. We're counting down to 2 o'clock. And countdown. Okay. 1 o'clock. Oh, okay, it's an hour. I'm not being very productive now. Okay, half an hour, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. Oh man, those last 5 minutes. Okay. Last glass of water, last bathroom break. Let's go. We're on in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's do this. Christina, my editor, probably saw my cameras because I started recording before we started and just see me pacing and going back and forth and scared, trying to practice and remember. And then it's 2 o'clock. Okay, here we are, 2 o'clock. I'm ready to go. Let's go. 2:01, 2:02, 2:03, 2:04. And that may not seem like it's 4 minutes, but those were like the longest 4 minutes of my last 6 months sitting there waiting, because now the thoughts are going, oh my gosh, did he not get the invite? Did it not happen? Are we not on for today? And it immediately goes to, I did all this preparation and practice and anxiety and stress and worry, and we're not even on today? Are you kidding me? Because the only thing worse than doing it is not doing it, right? What's worse than showing up, not showing up? And it's funny how often we want things to get canceled. I used to wish things were canceled on my calendar all the time. I used to wish that things would be canceled, that the person doesn't show up, or like they're sick or whatever, so I wouldn't have to show up and potentially disappoint people. But I've had to lean into that to say, no, I'm here to bring value. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. And the only thing worse is just not showing up, and how that makes you feel about yourself. That's a worse feeling. The stress of preparing for the interview is not as bad as the energy that you put on yourself if you don't show up. So how do you do it? How do you get through? Well, the two things that really help me are, one, the words scary, difficult, or hard, right? Or seeing a word like fear. But for me, it's more scary, difficult, hard. Those are not acceptable reasons for me to play small. That if you can catch it, that the reason for you not doing your mission, your goal, the thing in front of you is because you're afraid, it's difficult, it's scary, it's hard, to teach yourself that's not a good enough reason. Not anymore, not for you, not this year. Nope, that may be who you used to be, but not anymore. You're a person becoming. We're taking this on. Not a good enough reason anymore. Scary, difficult, hard. And then two, the thing that helps me is just service, default to service. I'm here to help. Why am I interviewing Marie? Because I want to help, because I want to help her with her book, and I want to help you. I want to try to get some value out of her, that she says something in a different way that I haven't said before, and maybe that inspires you to take some kind of action. I want to help you. And as soon as I get out of my head, my own selfish head of this is about me and how good I look or how bad I might look, which is more like it, and into service of I'm here with the intention to try to help and serve, that gives me the courage to go do the thing. Because not doing the thing is no longer an option. And when you remove that option and focus on you, do difficult, scary, hard, and you're here to serve and try to help, if you did that consistently and that's how you show up for your daily life, look out. Look out, world. Look out, fantastic life for you. Look out, because you're about to create some amazing things and go actually achieve the life that you deserve. Now I've got a really special bonus cup that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and just get motivated, the sign says you have a 35% chance of actually doing something, and that's terrible. I want you to get to a greater number. When you actually create a plan, you get motivated, you have a plan, you have a 91% chance of following through. And when you have a plan, you get motivated, a plan, and you commit to somebody else, you have a 95% chance of following through. So I want to celebrate you. I want to know your single biggest takeaway, and write down in the comments below your plan of action for the next week so you can follow through and we can celebrate with you too. Also, if you want to have more self-love and self-belief, check out my 254 series. The sign says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. So if you want to build your self-belief, I've designed a free program where I will send you a video every day for free. The link to join is in the description below.
Being a really, really good listener is one of the most underrated secrets to success.
I wanted to be really successful, but not just to like get shoes. I knew I wanted to make money because I wanted to make a difference.
When I was bartending, I was fully bartending. Like I wasn't talking to myself about, oh my God, I should be dancing right now, or I should be working on my coaching practice.
Stop scaring yourself. How often do you terrorize yourself with your own thoughts? You get into absolute terror, and it's only coming from your thoughts. Nobody out there is doing a thing. Sometimes it's an old family pattern, sometimes we get new things. I would like people, when you have time, to make a list of your fears. Make a list of your fears, and then give yourself the opportunity to turn each fear into a positive affirmation. Turn each one into something positive. And remember, always you are in charge. You are always in charge. See, one idle thought doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Thoughts are like drops of water. You drop a drop of water and it doesn't mean much. But if you keep dropping and keep dropping, you get a puddle on the floor, and then you can get a little pond and a lake, and finally you can create an ocean. And with our own thoughts, we can drown in a sea of negativity, or we can float on the ocean of life. And it's up to us. The thoughts we think accumulate. And what sort of puddles are you standing in? Or are you up to here? Or are you up to here and trying to paddle? You know, what are you doing to yourself? When we're willing to change our thinking, we can change our experiences. And it doesn't matter if you've got a big puddle of negative thoughts. You know, you can move over here and create a puddle of marvelous positive thoughts. You can make changes, always. So you want to turn those fear thoughts into positive affirmations. Let them work for you.
If you want to see my recent one-on-one with Marie, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Modern entrepreneurship can be for everyone. All of us are immersed in a culture that has taught us that nonstop work is the most valuable thing.